I'm Jordan Fort.
And it's your boy Darchi.
Welcome to JustBet TV, your weekly dose of sports betting insights, hot debates, and expert analysis. Whether you're a seasoned bettor or just curious about the odds, we've got you covered right here. Today's spotlight, the Premier League title race between Arsenal and Manchester City. Arsenal and Manchester City. When we talk about the modern Premier League title race, the rivalry between Arsenal and Manchester City has defined this current era of English football. But guess what? Their histories in the title races are very different. Arsenal's Premier League legacy, well, Arsenal was one of the dominant forces in the early Premier League years, Darrow, especially under their legendary manager Arsene Wenger. League champions in 1998, 2002 and 2004, the famous Invincibles in the 03-04 season, unbeaten all year. But after that, for nearly 2 decades, I'd say they were more contenders for top 4 than real title contenders. And in recent seasons, they've marked a return back to that genuine title challenge under Mikel Arteta, and the race has really heated up.
Now, Manchester City now, on the other hand now, they have a more modern era winners, you see me. When they talk about legend, they talk about Pep. You see me? I think 10 titles in carry them too.
Yeah, right? Well, not him alone, but 10 overall now.
10 overall.
Yeah.
I think they may even win 4 consecutive.
4 in a row.
Yeah,
first time in Premier League history, by the way.
Yeah. So it's a difference for Manchester City, and for them it's more of like regaining their glory versus Arsenal, who is running down something.
I wouldn't say running down.
Running down. That mean what I said.
Put it that
I
far.
mean, you're gonna say it different, but
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
Well, I mean, who's the favourite to win? Right now, I think some analysts are saying Manchester City. Some are still saying Arsenal, and I think a lot of people are saying Arsenal because they're saying City has the edge in terms of, you know, understanding how to win titles. 4 in a row, you have Pep Guardiola, the legendary manager at the helm. But guess what? Arsenal has been building and building season after season, and unfortunately, from my perspective, second a few years in a row. Obviously, that hurts, it stings when you're that close to the title and don't win it. But the squad depth now, I think is a bit different. I think that Arsenal...
I personally think Manchester City has more experience, especially in this time of the season. You understand? And in terms of injury, I don't see them suffering from the injuries.
Yeah, but we're talking about a new City team, really. And we're talking about a City team that's trying to make this charge now without the likes of, say, Kevin De Bruyne, who was like the linchpin in midfield for them. Yeah, key element for them. They had major injuries. Rodri, the Ballon d'Or winner, was out for a while. And you know, you're talking about City in the days gone by of people like Rodri and so on. You know, well, not only Rodri, I was talking about Fernandinho actually before Rodri, and then Rodri having had the kind of impact that he's had. And now the injuries to key players, and obviously you lose big players over the years. And you know, it takes a time to rebuild that. Obviously, somebody like Erling Haaland is such a huge force for City as a striker, but at the same time, yes, they do know how to win, but they're also dealing with a transition as well. They've brought in a lot of new players, fairly young players, or at least players who are new to the Premier League itself. So even though they might not be new to top flight football, they're not necessarily very familiar with the English Premier League, which is a different pace. They play different physically. It's a lot more strength and there's a lot more about robustness in the English Premier League than a lot of these players are used to. So I think that plays a role in the City title charge as opposed to the Arsenal title charge, which I think Arsenal really retooled in the summer. You know, a lot of summer signings that have made a significant difference. I mean, Declan Rice wasn't from this past summer, but Declan Rice's impact on the team, for one, obviously changing the goalkeeper in David Raya, and obviously now a signing from last summer, which you're talking about Victor Gyökeres, as a striker, number 9 profile, which Arsenal had been missing over the past few years, I think in the title charge, has made a significant impact. Plus all the other summer signings, somebody like a Zubimendi, who I think is really key to Arsenal.
In my opinion, I see Arsenal as a well-oiled machine. Like, they have been impressive, especially in the match versus Chelsea over the weekend. And I mean, they really look like they really want to take this title. But
yeah, that Chelsea game.
But I am here to say, that nothing is impossible.
I don't know why you're looking at.
Nothing is
I don't know why you're looking at that, Chris.
Yes, You just focus on your analysis.
I have more
I focus on my team.
I have more
right? Nothing is impossible. I know the focus is on the top contenders, Arsenal and City, but I'm just leaving it at nothing is impossible.
Well,
we have more things to talk about. For example, West Indies versus India.
Yeah, we do. Yes. Well, I mean, I mean, I was on a high here in Arsenal. I know you brought it to West Indies versus India.
You remind us something?
But all right. But the thing about it is that I think that West Indies, in that match versus India, were always second favorites.
Yes.
I think India was always favorite. It's a top team, defending champion, and they're at home. You're playing India in India, looking to go through. India knew they needed to win to go through. India is the defending champion. India is a, top T20 team in the world. I thought West Indies were always second best going into that contest. And I'm not really surprised that
Not surprised at all.
Yeah,
and the scoreline was West Indies scored 195 for 4. India chased it down, 199 for 5.
Yeah, with 4 balls to spare.
4 balls to spare.
Sanju Samson, a top scorer of 97.
Yeah, so what we're looking at for this week? What are the matches for this week?
All right, so for this week, I wanted to get back to this because obviously we're talking about the title running and the title charge.
Yes.
Aston Villa versus Chelsea. That's a big one, obviously, for Chelsea because Chelsea coming off that loss to Arsenal, going out to 10 players again, by the way, to Arsenal. They did that at home as well when they played Arsenal in the reverse fixture, and that match ended 1-1. They were able to still see out the game and not lose. Obviously, they lost 2-1 to Arsenal in their most recent contest. So what happens against Villa? Remember, another team that was in the title race early, by the way, Villa. Not so much in it now. Manchester United, your team has passed them.
Well, I said that again, never hear that.
But I'm not saying it again. But
okay, continue.
Chelsea will play the Villains. I think Chelsea, they'll want to rebound. Villa is a strong team. They've been a strong team this season, but the form that they had early in the season, the fortunes have switched. Obviously, I think we have to mention Reggae Boy, Leon Bailey, plays for Aston Villa. Went on loan to Roma, and now he's back at Villa and thing. But unfortunately for Villa, I think their form has taken a slight dip in terms of they're not on that kind of trajectory. They want to think at some point throughout the season, all competitions, they won several games in a row. And people are saying, no, they're real tight favourites. Kind of cool off since then.
Kind of cool off.
And you know,
I mean, they're going up against Chelsea right now. What do you think about Chelsea? You think they're going to rebuild? Or you feel like, I mean, with all of the money what they've spent for transfers?
They have spent a lot. Chelsea has spent a lot. But I don't think that Chelsea genuinely consider themselves, even with the spending, as title contenders for this season. I think now they're kind of affected, obviously, by the fact that they fired the coach, Maresca, brought in a new coach, Rossini. And now he's trying to build with this team. Now,
so the chemistry's thrown up?
A little bit. I think they've done well, by the way, under the new coach. But I still think there's a kind of a learning period for the players, adaptation. You know, it's a new system and stuff. So that will affect how they approach a game. In terms of who I give the edge, I'd probably say that I still give Chelsea a slight edge.
I would more predict that draw.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I give...
I mean, Aston Villa are really easy to beat at home. I mean, Villa scored first. The crowd out there back of them, it's going to be a problem for Chelsea.
That's true.
And I don't see Chelsea handling pressure well. So, I don't know. I just see, I foresee a draw. You see me? But don't really quote me on that one. We're going to drop some betting picks later on. Now, AC Milan versus Inter Milan derby. I'm telling you this. You see that derby, never just another match. It's identity, city pride, and often a title defining moment in Syria. You see, Inter now, they have the momentum and tactical clarity under Simone Inzaghi. Milan, however, them thrive in a chaos, transitions, moments of brilliance, and emotional swings. If Inter control the tempo, they're going to dominate. If Milan turns it into a physical, emotional contest, anything can happen. What do you think now on that?
Boy, I think you have to say Inter had the edge because, you know, Inter right now leading in Serie A. Inter has been battle tested. You've seen it in Europe, making it to the Champions League final, though, you know, mauled by PSG in the Champions League final last year. But Inter, as you mentioned, the tactical clarity under Simone Inzaghi, I think you have to give Inter the edge in this one. I think you mentioned tactical clarity, but not only that, the balance of the Inter team. is experience mixed with enough youth, relative youth, and I think, but more so experience from defense to attack. I think you have to give Inter the edge in this one. AC Milan, as you say, is not to be taken lightly though. There's a team with a lot of offensive firepower, but I give Inter the edge now.
I think I'm going to agree with you on that one. We're not going to debate for that one. Newcastle versus Manchester United.
Yeah, we might debate on this one, right?
All right, well, me and I will debate. You know what's going to be my pick?
Yeah, the fixture, bigger than the table suggests. Of course, as we've seen, Manchester United now move up to third, but Newcastle right now been struggling this season. In past seasons though, Newcastle has been much better, especially in the English Premier League. But Newcastle still in Europe, still in the Champions League, advancing, feeling good about themselves in Europe. And we say that Manchester United coming in with some slight tactical favorability. New coach, Michael Carrick, interim, though he may be. But
United really focus on points, right?
Yeah. Points for the performance, not necessarily, because of course United is not seriously thinking about the challenge. I know you are still saying anything can happen. Anything is fine. But having moved up to third though, I think is a big boost for Manchester United. And the question is, could this kind of, define Champions League ambitions, especially for Newcastle? United, of course, is not in the Champions League. So, and that's a good point, because I think a win over Manchester United, a surging Manchester United team here, would do wonders for Newcastle going into the rest of the Champions League campaign.
Yeah, but you're not going to live to see that.
United, though, I must say, has been, as much as it pains me to say, much more consistent.
Yes.
Since Michael Carrick has taken over from Ruben Amorim, the players seem to be adapting very well. I mean, Kobe Mainoo being reintegrated into the starting 11.
I think everyone is just playing their role very well.
Yeah.
Right? For the positioning on the field, it's very tactical.
It's people who are out of form now finding form, and that's what you want to see under any coach. And I think you have to give United the edge, but playing Newcastle at Newcastle, never easy. They haven't been great this season at home, to be fair. But still, travelling to Newcastle to play Newcastle at their home turf is never really easy. St. James's Park is always a tough game to play.
That is true, but my prediction, 2 of United.
I'm gonna say 2-1 United.
Okay, not bad. Manchester City versus Nottingham Forest.
Manchester City versus Nottingham Forest. For City, it's less about Forest and more about obviously the title run. At the Etihad, they've been overwhelming favourites, of course, and it's not going to be any different against Forest. But context changes everything in a title race. We have to mention that because now every match feels like a final almost.
Yes.
And there's tension going into every match for City and for Arsenal. More so for Arsenal because
the points are very crucial.
Exactly. And City has a game in hand.
Yes.
City win, City move to within 2 points of Arsenal. But you wonder how much that also plays on the minds of City's players every time they go out there. We have to win. Add tension, added pressure. Plus you're playing in front of home fans and the anxiety that the home fans might bring. Does that kind of add to it? I'm chatting a lot. I think City will win.
Exactly.
I'm saying
at the end of the day, they know their talent.
Yeah.
You're at home. I mean, stakes are high. A lot of things are on the line, but they know what needs to be done.
Yeah.
And these are experienced players who I'm sure are pressured.
And Nottingham Forest, to be fair, are kind of in flux right now. There are teams searching for some stability. City will win.
All right. And I didn't really want to talk about this one, but I guess we can. Arsenal versus
Brighton. Arsenal for sure, I'm going with. For obvious reasons. But I think Arsenal, having come off that win over Chelsea, and that kind of boost that it gave them, now, there were some nervous moments in the end for Arsenal, must admit. As an Arsenal fan, on Sunday I was very nervous in stoppage time. Chelsea even had the ball in the back of the net. It was ruled out for offside. It was a clear offside in the end. But I won't lie, Raya had to pull off some brilliant saves just to ensure that Arsenal held on to that 2-1 lead. I think true. Arsenal win this game against Brighton though. Again, you're talking about a title race. You're talking about in the running now, every game is tense. and the team gets nervous, I think Arsenal will take care of Brighton in this game. I'll probably predict for Arsenal 2-0 victory. Alright, so yeah, we can sit down here, Darrow, and chat all we want, but the experts at JustBet will give you all the tips, all the bet types, all the odds, everything you need to know on how you can maximize your winnings with JustBet.
Yeah man, so whether you are a seasoned bettor or just a try thing, you just want, you're new to this, we got all the information for you. Everything is going to be on the screen. As Jordan said, betting types, odds, stats, everything. So just stay tuned for more information.
Our featured match for this week is Chelsea versus Aston Villa at Villa Park. A big clash with both teams pushing for Champions League spots. Aston Villa, now they've been strong at home, with 6 of their last 9 home games seeing both teams score, and they also took the reverse fixture 2-1 back in December. Chelsea, on the other hand, come into this match after a 2-1 loss to Arsenal. Both teams have scored in each of their last 6 away matches, with only 1 clean sheet in their last 14 Premier League games. History also leads goals, with both teams scoring in 5 of the last 6 meetings between these sides. Our betting tip for this game is Aston Villa to win first half, but Chelsea to win the match and score over 2.5 goals. If you bet $10,000 on that, you can win up to $260,000. We're expecting a competitive game, chances at both ends, and a result that could see the points shared. We have some other matches this week. The 2 we're highlighting are Brighton versus Arsenal. The odds are now Brighton $4.75 to win, and Arsenal $1.64, with $3.80 to draw. Newcastle and Manchester United, the odds are $2.54 for Newcastle to win, $2.50 for Manchester United to win, and $3.15 for a draw. We also have live betting available, so you can place your bets even while the match is going on. Bets can be placed at over 140 JustBet retailers island-wide, or you can visit supremegames.com and play online from anywhere.
Alright, so now we got the JustBet challenge. Jordan, make your predictions. Aston Villa versus Chelsea.
Yeah, as I say, I give Chelsea the edge in this one. So I'm going to say Chelsea 3, Aston Villa 2.
You know where I stand, I think that's going to be a draw. AC Milan versus Inter Milan.
Yeah, as I say, Inter Milan is where my money is. I'm going to say Inter win this one 1-0.
Inter 2-1 for me. Newcastle versus Manchester United.
Yeah, I did say Manchester United 2-1 over Newcastle.
And I say Manchester United 2-0. Manchester City versus Nottingham Forest.
I say City winning this one 2-0.
I say City taking this one as well. Arsenal versus Brighton.
Yeah, 2-0 for Arsenal over Brighton.
And I see an upset coming, Brighton 1-0. Okay. Alright, so people, now I'm here to talk about the goal rush. Now, what is the goal rush? Goal rush, you have an opportunity to experience the greatest show on earth. Easy to enter, place a bet online or in stores. You can bet on anything. Your bet just has to be at least $2,500. So $2,500 or more, you're entered in a chance to experience the greatest show on earth. Yeah man, you can watch a ball game of fire.
So wait, you bet $2,500 or more. Then you go to what?
You go to the website, man.
Goal Rush.
JustBetJA.com
and then you
fill out the form, and then you are entered. Now, remember, ask you a question. Which two countries I love to see play a fire? Come this summer.
Spain versus. When I say Spain versus Brazil,
That would be a match for watch. I'm sure one out there would I love to experience that. Or any other match of your choice. You say me if you win the top prize. If you don't win the top prize, there are many more prizes. We got PS5, we got jerseys, we got cash prizes. Y'all just need to enter. Remember, $2,500 or more. Go to the website, enter, put in the information. That's all. Imagine you get the car. Say you win.
Imagine me get the car. Yo,
where you react?
On the plane to New York, greatest show on earth.
Trust me, brother.
But the thing is, though, there are no losers, right? PS5. Calm. PS5.
But as you know, you have to have a ticket to have a chance. So you need to enter.
Yeah, exactly. So, Goal Rush, JustBetJA.com.
Yeah.
Fill out the form, enter.
That's it. And you can bet on anything. You don't have to be football. It can be tennis, it can be virtual games, anything. Just make sure say you have a bet, $2,500 or more.
Yeah, man. All right, so Dara, that's where we have to wrap it up. That's a wrap for this week's episode of JustBet TV, your go-to spot for sports betting highlights, match previews, and fan-fueled debates.
And people, you see if you have a hot take or you have a winning bet, drop it in the comments. Who knows? Maybe you get a feature next week.
Remember to bet smart and stay informed. So that's it. I'm Jordan Fort.
Check 1 3, say what RG.
And that has been JustBet TV. Join us again next time. JustBet, your game, your passion. See you next week.